On this adventure with Lukimyu, we refuel in Norfolk Island and then head on to Noumea, only to be becalmed, followed by heavy weather, followed by really rough weather, and the boat starts cracking up at sea. Doing the usual evening dishes.
End of day one.
And day one. Yeah, pretty uneventful sort of day.
Nice sunset though.
A bit boring, if anything.
Except for the sunset.
Except for the sunset.
Day 2 of this glamour sport we call sailing. Grey is the word for today. The sky that we're sailing into is just a sea of grey, pardon the pun. And it's cold and it's rained on and off most of the day. The wind is meant to have swung to a westerly. It's still north. We are actually heading right for Norfolk now, which is it's really good. I don't know if you recall, to get to Coffs, which was due east, we went up and down to catch wind going in the wrong directions and stuff. Whereas this has really just pushed us all the way to Norfolk, which is good. For Lukey, she's been doing some good speed. So on average, I'd say we average 7 nautical miles, or noms, as we call them on our boat, nautical miles per hour. At the moment we're doing 8. We do have one of our engines going because that sky is never going to give us enough electricity with our solar. So the wind dropped off a little while ago. We thought we'd run the engine for an hour or two, get the solar panels up. We have got 290 noms to go.
We're essentially becalmed. We are 674 nautical miles from Sydney, which is about 1,248 kilometres. I think that's correct. And we've still got a couple of hundred nautical miles to go to Norfolk Island. It's strange, you know. We were only 24 hours ago in 20 plus knots, cruising along at 8 plus knots, and we're essentially becalmed. So we've got one of the engines running, and that's enabling us to do about 5 knots. I've been listening to an audible book of Jessica Watson and her solo trip around the world. I enjoy the fact that we're not getting thrown around too much, given the fact that it's so calm.
Some days are just beautiful. Very hard to capture the perfect colour out there. Gorgeous. This is what you can do when it's calm weather. Fresh bread for breakfast.
Lovely. Fresh bread. Okay, so let me share with you just how glassy the water is this morning. Have a look at that. And the rain. Amazing, isolated. This is the same day that we were becalmed. Have a look at the weather. It is pouring with rain. It's blowing 25 to 30 knots.
We are somewhere between 6 and 8 hours out of Norfolk Island, and the weather has gone from being becalmed to being like a really horrible ride on a water show that you can't get on. Neither of us have slept very much. Everything's covered in salt. It's cold. We're grumpy. Jamie's holding the kettle to make a cup of tea.
It's true. Otherwise it will slide straight off.
After that, we're going to consider if we've got the strength to make breakfast. Probably 50-50 this day. So I've got an email from Norfolk Island Australian Border Force just asking them about our check-in procedures and stuff, and they were going to check us in today and do quarantine and immigration, but we didn't arrive at 9 o'clock as we thought we were going to. It's currently 1 o'clock and I think we're probably still an hour away, so they've just said suggest we organise clearance tomorrow morning. Give us a call on channel 28 at 9 o'clock and we'll organise a suitable walk for clearance. When you arrange this afternoon, please make contact so that we know that you've arrived into Norfolk Island waters. And we have. Look, land ahoy.
Good afternoon. What are your intentions for your stay here? You're intending to stay overnight on the vessel and then intending to come ashore tomorrow if possible? Over?
Yeah, we'll stay in the vessel overnight tonight, and then whatever your requirements are for us tomorrow to clear in, we'll do. Over?
Yep, copy that. What time tomorrow would you expecting to come ashore? And where do you intend to come ashore? Have you seen the conditions for Cascade or Kingston? Over?
We haven't really looked at that. What are your requirements for where we need to come ashore? Over?
Yeah, ideally we're looking at Cascade or Kingston to come ashore, so it'll depend on the conditions tomorrow. So maybe we just touch base first thing tomorrow morning and go from there. Over?
That sounds fine. We'll call you again at 0900 tomorrow morning. Over. So we are heading around to check in with Norfolk Island Border Force on the other side of the island. And all the advice we've gotten from them is that you can't leave your boat without someone on it, which is going to make exploring the island with just 2 people on the boat, leaving one behind, almost impossible.
Tricky.
Yeah, very tricky. And so we're going to check in and check out because the weather actually looks pretty good for a departure for New Caledonia tomorrow.
Probably not the smoothest passage, but a quick passage straight there. 2 days.
Yeah, and we've had 12 hours sleep.
Making up for the very little sleep we had over the previous 3.5, 4 days.
I'm going to bank another 12 hours tonight, I reckon. But we've got things we need to do that are going to be very difficult to do with just one person on the island. So we might break their rule and both get off the boat.
Yeah, we'll see how we go. He reckons we're going to need a car in order to get fuel and stuff like that because the town is in the centre of the island.
Useful.
Yeah.
So we need to do laundry. Can't even possibly see how that's going to get done. I think we're going to be wearing manky clothes. And we need fuel. And gas. Definitely fuel though.
As you can see, this anchorage is very, very rough. And amazingly, this is the protected side of the island. Refueling entailed us getting our jerry cans in from the boat, up the wharf, into the hire car, into town, fill them up with diesel, run it back, decant it into the boat, and then repeat the process 3 times over.
After a Grand Prix style pit stop, we head off to New Caledonia.
That's Denise's signal for the anchor is up and we're now free to go.
Well, we're saying goodbye to Norfolk Island after a very brief 30-hour stay.
Heading north!
We are finally heading north in search of warmer water and warmer air temperatures. It's a beautiful morning. We're doing about 8 knots, but it should be a pretty fast, boisterous sail, all in all. Calling the sailing vessel 40 nautical miles north of Norfolk Island. This is Lukimyu, Lukimyu, Lukimyu. Over.
Lukimyu, this is sailing vessel 40 nautical miles. It's Norfolk, the island. Over.
Hello, we can see you almost dead ahead of us, about 2 nautical miles out, so we'll be on your port side, over.
Hi there, I can see you too. We just came from Bunbury, or Bay of Islands, New Zealand, and we're on our way to Bundaberg, Australia. What about yourself? Over.
Is it just the two of you on board, over?
Just the two of us, and you?
Yeah, exactly the same, just my wife and myself, over.
When you see another vessel in the middle of nowhere, there's nothing more fun than getting on the radio and having a chat.
Best answer. Good on you.
Alright, well, lovely talking to you again, and safe and fair seas.
David Mercies to you. Switching back to 16, over out.
Contrary to the forecast, we were bashing into it all the way there. On the second morning on our way to Lukimyu, we calculated we were not going to make it in time. We were not keen on entering a foreign port that was unfamiliar to us, surrounded by reef in the middle of the night. So if we were going to make it, we had to pick up about 1 knot of boat speed. So we thought we'd turn on the engines and motor sail the last 4 or 5 hours. This meant refuelling at sea, which is always a bit of fun. You're clipped on with your harness, you're hanging off the back of the sugar scoop as we use our jiggler to decant fuel from the fuel cans into the tanks.
Almost done.
With a bit of luck, we'd pick up the extra hour we needed and not have to spend another night hovering outside the reef waiting for first light.
So this is the flexing I'm concerned about. This is all opened up in the last 24 hours. This crack has also appeared. Wasn't there before. I think I found the culprit. But why is the question? Big concern, to say the least, that whether this is structural or just superficial, but those cracks should not be there.
If the boat cracking up wasn't enough, we started getting a low oil alarm in the port engine. So I jumped in the engine bay and topped up the oil.
Good old Porty, he started first time. Want him in gear? They need a list of all the electronic items you have on board and all the serial numbers for everything. So we've done that as well. For customs and immigration. I don't know who needs it, customs or immigration, but one of the two. Land ahoy, New Caledonia. We did it. And then we've come up here to New Caledonia. And we are almost at the pass and into the marina, right there, which is about another 2 hours to go. It's currently 4:45. We will lose light at about 5:45, so we are just right on the edge of our time limit. So we put up the yellow flag to say we're under quarantine, which means neither Jamie nor I can leave the vessel until quarantine have come on board, inspected and probably repossessed almost all our food, I would guess. And then of course they'll look at how much alcohol and other stuff we've got on board. There's a French flag, as New Caledonia is actually part of France. And the yellow quarantine flag.
Can you please spell the name of your vessel?
Yes, it
Lima.
is Lima,
Uniform.
Kilo,
India.
India, Mike,
Yankee.
Yankee,
Uniform.
Uniform. totally forgot them all.
Lukimyu from Port Macquarie. Please give me overall length and beam of your vessel.
11.6 metres
And 7 metres wide.
and 7 metres wide. Thank you very much. I understand we will stay at anchor tonight in the lagoon and call you at 0800 tomorrow. Over.
Yes, please. Thank you very much. Port Macquarie, mainland 7.
Well, we made it. So, yeah, celebrate with a champagne.
Appropriate because we're in France, technically. Made it with probably 5 minutes to spare.
First foreign port. Cheers.
Look inside, you'll find you got what it takes. Yeah, I can tell 'cause you.
On the next adventure with Lukimyu,
We check into New Caledonia, where we receive a Pacific welcome. We explore Beta Prony, and the boat problems continue. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with your friends.
Here's your chance.